NBA player props here on PrizePicks for Tuesday, October 25th. Before I get started, there's a link in the description below to sign up for PrizePicks, or you can use promo code TUFF to sign up. PrizePicks will match 100% of your first deposit. There's also a Discord link in the description where we are well over 1,000 members now currently. Super strong community. Everyone's just trying to help each other win. Go ahead and check out that link. And then Patreon link is in the description below of this video as well, where I do give all the plays here I'm making on PrizePicks for each given sport that I do play. NBA, college football, NFL. Multiple posts on Patreon every single day. Yesterday we did extremely well here on Patreon. NBA props. I gave 13 plays here. Normally don't give 13 plays. Normally give around 8 or even no more than 10. But yesterday was just kind of feeling it. Added these 3 leans, which went 2 of 3. Bam Adebayo really sold us. He had 9 rebounds and literally got that 10th rebound in like the last 5 seconds of the game. If you took that prop and you were following the game, it was a complete disaster for us. But nonetheless, still a very profitable day on Patreon. Go ahead and check out that link in the description below. But let's get into it, you guys. 2 total player props that I like here. Tuesday, October 25th. We only have 4 games on the slate today. Detroit, Washington, Dallas, New Orleans, Pelicans, LA Clippers, OKC, and Golden State Warriors versus Phoenix here. 2 player props that I do like, however. Again, I'm not a gambling expert. This is not financial advice. This is just simply the plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player props here. But let's get into it. First one I like is going to be Monte Morris, and I love his over 22.5 fantasy score here against the Detroit Pistons. Now, Monte has hit the over on this all 3 games this season so far, I guess since the first game of the year. 28, 24, and 24.6 fantasy points here for Monte Morris. Surprised his line is at 22.5. Maybe this does have a chance to be bumped up later in the day, depending on how many people are smashing the over on this. But I like Monte Morris here in this spot. I mean, one, it's been green all 4 games this season. A game log with the Wizards. He's playing decent minutes. I mean, this game here against the Pacers was, a pretty close game. He didn't really play too much, but I think now kind of solidifying his role. He is the starting point guard on this team. 21, 26, and 27 minutes. I think if, this is a good prop here if he gets over 25 minutes. 13, 3, and 6 in his last game. 9, 4, and 3 in his last game before that. And the 7, 6, and 6 with 2 steals in that first game of the season. And turnovers remain rather low as well. 2 turnovers through 3 games. I mean, he's a point guard. And his plus minus strong too. So I'm definitely thinking the coaching staff at the Washington's looking at this, thinking they need to give Monte Morris, 25 plus minutes in this game. But I like this prop for a few reasons. One, against point guards this season, the Detroit Pistons are giving up the second most fantasy points to point guards, 61.5 total fantasy points per game to point guards. We're looking at assists as well. Third most assists to point guards, 10.3 assists here. That's why, I also like his assists at 4. 10.3 assists here for the Detroit Pistons giving up to point guards. Points as well. Just giving up a ton of points. 30.9 points to point guards overall. And just overall, field goal percentage. They're giving up the highest field goal percentage to point guards. Not that Kid Cunningham and, Jaden Ivey and Killian Hayes are horrible defenders. I think, more so schematically, the Pistons just giving up a ton of fantasy points to point guards. Only the Lakers, who are just, they faced Dame and Steph Curry already this season. But the Detroit Pistons, 61.5 fantasy points, 2 point guards here. We've already seen, right, point guards versus Pistons this season, okay? So Tyrese Halliburton went crazy, obviously. This is, we took this player prop, I believe, 24, 4, 10, and 5. This is well over 22.5. This is probably in the 50s. And then we saw all 3 point guards for the Knicks go over this. All 3. Quickly, 27 and 7. Jalen Brunson, 17, 2, and 6. And then even Derrick Rose, 13, 3, and 6. So all 3 point guards for the Knicks. All 3 in this game against the New York Knicks for Detroit Pistons. Right? 130 to 106. Super high scoring game here. The over-under for this Detroit-Washington game is 220.5. Not the lowest on the night. Actually, 220.5. The Golden State Warriors Phoenix is at 226. But if you go back to this game here, Knicks versus Pistons, right? We saw Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickley, and Derrick Rose, all 3 point guards, you guys, for the Knicks go over 22.5 fantasy points. All 3 of them go over 22.5 fantasy points. Love this spot here for Monte Morris. Again, combination with the matchup being as good as it can get, as well as he's gone over this all 3 times this season. Also, there's heavy juice on the over 9.5 points for him in this game too. So, I mean, if he can get to 12, 11 points, I think the assist will be there, and I think all the peripheral stats could potentially be there as well for him. So, taking the over here on Monte Morris over 22.5 fantasy points for the first player prop that I like today. The October 25th here, we're looking at Trey Mann. Obviously, this is an interesting prop here, Trey Mann. I'm taking his over 22.5 PRA here now. His line is at 15.5. There's actually heavy juice on over 15.5 points here for Trey Mann. There is going to be no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Josh Giddey in this game, right? So his usage is going to be through the roof in this game against the Clippers, who the Clippers are, favorited in this game. Over-unders at 214. Clippers are favorites by 9.5. But there is no Paul George or Markieff Morris. We do not know if Kawhi Leonard's going to play. I mean, if Kawhi Leonard doesn't play in this game, I think this game could be a little bit more interesting than people think. OKC Thunder obviously a scrappy team here. But Trey Mann did get the start last game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously, this game had no Shai Gilgeous. Josh Giddey did, however, play in that game. And, I mean, there's 5 assists here for Josh Giddey that, needs to be filled up. 22 minutes of play here for Josh Giddey. Trey Mann played 28 minutes, had 10, 3, and 3. Did go 0 for 6 from the three-point land. So, I mean, he makes 2 3-pointers in this last game when he starts. I think this is, well over 22.5 in my opinion. And we're looking at Trey Mann here without Shai or Josh Giddey in his career. I mean, last season, obviously there was a good amount of games where he, played without Shai or Josh Giddey here. 30 points, 29 points, 24 points, 21 points, 16 points, 15, 13, 13, 12, 11, 10 points. So, I mean, he really needs to show tonight. I think definitely a test for him to show he can run and be the first option in an NBA offense. Trey Mann has shown quite a bit of potential in his, short career here. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity here. I definitely think this game could be a lot closer than people think here as well. But take a look at this. I mean, just last year, right, against OKC at Denver, 33 minutes to play, 15, 5, and 3, right? If he gets 15, 5, and 3, that's over, right? 15, 5, and 3 stat line for Trey Mann seems super reasonable. In this game, 2 for 6 from three-point land. Gets to the free throw line 3-4 times. But like I said, I mean, this game here, he starts with Josh Giddey in the lineup. No Shai, but with Josh Giddey, he plays 28 minutes, 10, 3, and 3, right? That's 16 PRA. He goes over 6 from 3, right? He makes 1 3-pointer, 1 or 2 more assists, 1 more rebound. That's over 22.5 PRA for him. Again, USG is going to be through the roof. There is heavy juice on the over for 15.5 points for him. So, I mean, if he can get to 16 points, a lot of peripheral stats here, opportunities for him in this game. Taking the over Trey Mann, 22.5 PRA here. Again, these 2 player props, obviously Trey Mann's a little more volatile, but surprising, Monte Morris, Trey Mann, we're taking 2, not household name point guards. We're taking their over fantasy scores. So that's just kind of where we are in the NBA season here on PrizePicks. Drop a like on this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about these 2 plays. Hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.